5, it's Australia race number 12 for our Singapore viewers. It is over the 2200 metres. Ian, a last start winner, and who's to blame? But meets a few of those runners worse off in this race now.
Yeah, look, it goes up 5 kilograms, but didn't it cruise through the line? It was the run we've been expecting because it's always been thereabouts, but it really broke through last start.
Beat a very nice life in Verdelho Blue by over a length. Randy Tan riding on that occasion. We'll take a look at the victory now.
He livens him up around the corner. He kicks a length and a half to Sandpipers, and top of it was a Rain Dance Maggie. Who's to blame? Further back, Friday starting to run on, but Verdelho Blue at the 200 metre pole. A length clear. Who's to blame, though, down the middle of the course with no weight on his back at all. It's Who's to blame going up, getting his head in front of Verdelho Blue. Who's to blame's got the momentum, draws away, and the featherweight came away.
Yeah, comfortable victory in the end by Who's to blame. Drawn barrier 1. That's okay for this horse. Just needs that galloping room in the straight and will be hard to beat once again.
Do you have to lean towards Flying Force and top of it was it with the weight swings?
It's hard to say yes. It was just such a comfortable victory for Who's to blame, and it looks like it's in the right pocket of form. Whereas Flying Force and top of it was, they've had their chances, but they will be improving as well.
What about some of the more known stays that our Singapore viewers especially would remember? Military Service and even A Black Moment.
Yeah, look, Military Service is not too far away. Its form lines has just been outclassed by Kiro Kudu in its last performance. Form lines alongside Top of the Wazza, so it's in the mix. The 3 Black Moment, its Kalgoorlie form was super, really in the pocket. Last start was caught 3 wide without cover and it was raining, so I'm willing to give this a chance. I think it can win.
Now, I have to ask you quickly, Common Approach is the horse we've talked about a lot on this program, a winner over 1,000 and 1,200 metres, stepped out to 1,400 on a few occasions, now going all the way to 2,200 metres. What can we expect?
I'm not sure. I think they need Tom Hanks to get involved because this is the Da Vinci Code. This galloper, there is just so many tricks to it. No one really knows what's happening. And they just keep trying different things and they're just not working. We'll
have to wait and see. Maybe Lucy Warwick can be the one to turn this horse around. She's done it before on the likes of Street Bandit, so maybe Common Approach is her next task. Let's take a look at selections. I'm going to be tipping number 5, Ahmed. From number 8, Top of the Wazza, number 7, Flying Force, and number 2, Military Service.
3, Black Moment. From 4, Who's to blame? The 8, Top of the Wazza, and number 5, Ahmed.
Race number 6 at Ascot. It is Australia race number 14 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,400 metres. And Ian, we see the return of Neverland, and we have to remember that this is the horse that everybody thought was better than Delicacy.
You look at its early form, she was super in competing, and then she went up in distance and was just outclassed by Delicacy, but not by much. So she's certainly the one to watch in this race. And her recent trial was impressive, but there's some good horses in form in this race.
There certainly is, and one horse that's been waiting return to that form is Yeold. Managed to get a win. I think enjoys the Ascot track a lot more as well. So let's take a look at that last start victory.
Miss, who's now being pushed out of the road by Paddy's Flat with the Blaze to come after them. Mr. Bellfire sticks on, then Carney, who headed the others. Ruling Force in front when they go to the 200. Paddy's Flat running on. Ye Old is sticking on pretty well. Ocean Cracker, though, can't win. 100 left to go. Ruling Force, Ye Old and Paddy's Flat. Ruling Force and Ye Old. Ye Old on the inside. Ruling Force. They went to the line. There's nothing.
Yeah, look, that win was building, and it was a really nice ride by Jordan Turner on that occasion. Got into a great pocket after jumping well enough and ground out that victory. So interesting to see how it goes here. I think it's a major step up in class, however.
What about number 8, Neverland? We mentioned it in the intro, but 2 from 2 first up, 2 from 2 at the distance, has never missed a place at the track. As you mentioned, stepped up in distance, which wasn't ideal, but 1,400 metres first up from what we saw in that trial looks very hard to beat.
And she's incredibly sharp, and there was no blinkers worn in the trial either. So I think with those applied coming into this race, she'll be super hard to beat.
Another horse that we can't ignore, the stats of Proper Anti's track record, 4 attempts for 3 victories, 2 from 2 as well first up.
Yep, that's very hard to knock. The recent trial also without blinkers. The 58 kilograms still hasn't won above 57.5. That's my only concern with Proper Antes, but proved last campaign. Very talented.
Well, let's take a look at selections then. I'm going to be tipping number 8, Neverland. From number 5, Dart Musket, number 2, Proper Antes, and number 4, Palace Intruder.
I'm 8, Neverland on top. From number 10, Bomber Bay, the 4, Palace Intruder, and number 2, Proper Antes.
Race number 7 at Ascot. It is Australia race number 16 for our Singapore viewers. It's over the 1,200 metres, and I'm really excited about this race, Ian. We've obviously got some very classy animals, the likes of Flying Raw, Hold Your Tongue, and Hobart Jones. We can't forget Dreamlifter, which the last time we saw beat Flying Time by 5 lengths, which has been in good form recently.
Yeah, Dreamlifter is all class, and the recent trial at Albany was very quiet indeed. This is another really special race. With 6, Hold Your Tongue. How good was it last start?
Well, it's an inconsistent type, but when it rocks up at its best, it is very hard to beat. We saw that last start. It beat Flying Time by over 2 lengths, and we'll take a look at that run now.
Intruder, they turn the bend at the 350 and Flying Time into the straight first, snuck away from Vacello. What a plan, battling on. Dark Musket's getting a run right up along the rail, and Duke of Cornwall at any old odds, and Hold Your Tongue from last are swooping down the outside. 100 left to go, and Hold Your Tongue burst up, put pay to them in a couple of strides, pulls away from Flying Time, Dark Musket, and Hold Your Tongue.
It was awesome in the end, Hold Your Tongue. It really caught me by surprise. They did have something on it, I'll say, but there was no way I expected it to win by that margin from the position where it was in running. But it's so hard to see it repeating that, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is, and that's the problem, is that you just don't know what you're going to get with Hold Your Tongue. And Dion Luciani's admitted that he doesn't know either, so we'll wait and see if we can see a few runs strung together by this horse. Number 1, Dream Lifter, we mentioned it just off the top. This is a horse that we know has soundness issues at times, but it runs very well first up.
Yeah, you get that run fresh. So if you want to back Dreamlifter, it is first up, and we know it is all class. If it can cross in that wide barrier, it'd be very hard to run down.
Number 8, Hobart Jones for Vernon Brockman. William Pite to ride. Of course, this horse just missed out last time, beating a short head by a Flying Time. But you go through the form lines historically, and we saw Liberty's Gem, the first race day at Ascot, how that returned, and that was only beaten a half length in the Group 3 Listia.
Yeah, the form lines through there are outstanding, and also the last start when William Pike rode, it was brilliant in that run. So drawn awkwardly, will have to come on from a long way back, but this horse loves the Ascot circuit.
Let's take a look at selections, and I'm going to be tipping number 8, Hobart Jones, from number 1, Dreamlifter, number 6, Hold Your Tongue, and number 2, Cerise.
I'm with you, number 8, Hobart Jones on top from number 1, Dreamlifter, 5, Flying Roar, and number 7, Beatorio.
Race number 8 at Ascot is Australia race number 18 for our Singapore viewers, and their 8s continue because it's over 1,800 metres.
Yeah, this will be a great race as well. I think we perhaps maybe fell into the trap for thinking Bob Peters' horse would be unbeatable at Ascot midweek. But I'm feeling the same about the 6 Illuminated. Well, how can you tip against what it did last start?
It was an amazing performance. And considering it was racing against the same horses it just beat the start before by a half length, to come out and win by over 5 lengths, and now stepping up in distance, which is an even more positive. The barrier draw doesn't help, but Illuminated on what we saw last start is going to be very hard to beat, and we'll take a look at that replay now.
Led by 2 lengths, Meteoroid. Down on the inside, Night Prowler. Down the outside comes Capanda with a run rare selection. Battling Moon Search, the Carn-Up Kid. Illuminated, still got plenty to offer though. Beat off Meteoroid, who can't do any better. It's well out in front, Illuminated. Capanda giving chase down the outside, but boy, this has been a win. Illuminated, didn't expect him to lead, but he's come away and he extends the margin late to win it by over 5 to Capanda.
It's a really good point you raised about that barrier, because what does it do now? It settled on speed last start, but from barrier 1, drawn 14 of 14 here. Do they go back or go forward? I think this will define the race, whatever happens.
Number 1, Street Band. It found some form at Belmont, but it has never won at Ascot. It has to break some hoodoos again returning here, but I think with the way they've worked out how to ride this horse, it'll be suited with the shorter chance down the straight at Ascot.
Yeah, look, this horse has transformed since the last time it was at Ascot. It's the Caitlyn Jenner of racing. So perhaps this horse will even improve further at this Ascot circuit, like you said, but it has drawn poorly.
Another horse that is going to enjoy stepping up in distance is from the Adam Durant stable as well, and it's the forgotten one, of course, a gelding by Black Friars, a winner over the 1,500 and 1,600 metres. The 1,800 does look ideal.
You know, we keep mentioning how strong that race was in terms of sectional times, but not much has come from it. But it won so easily. I'm just concerned about the 35-day break. I'd probably prefer to be with the stablemate Illuminated.
Well, let's take a look at selections, and I am going to be tipping number 6 Illuminated, from number 7 the Forgotten One, number 2 Badamajo, and number 13 Night Prowler.
Number 6 Illuminated on top from 4 Military Ruler, number 7 the Forgotten One, and the 12 Esperanza.
Well, that brings us to the end of another edition of Box Seat, so it is time now to take a look at the best bets. And the Cerise in White, we mentioned it in the intro, could easily have them on top for most of the races, and my 2 best bets are around them. Race 6, number 8, Neverland, and race 8, number 6, Illuminated.
I'm with you with one of those, but first I'll start with race 5, number 3, Black Moment at each way odds, and race 6, number 8, Neverland.
As you said, we can always follow Perth Racing on social media, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Very active on all of those, and of course the website as well for all of the stories and events that are coming up. And at this time of the season, there are plenty of great events to buy your tickets for. This has been another edition of Box Seat. We'll be back again next Wednesday, hopefully finding you some more winners.